Hello, dear friends. What a blessing to be with you today. Here we are for another study of the Spiritist magazine. I'm broadcasting to you from the Spirit Society of Richmond in Richmond, Virginia. Welcome. It's always an honor to spend Tuesday evenings with you. Every week, we discuss one article from one of the issues of the Spiritist magazine. And if you're new here, welcome. I encourage you to visit spiritistmagazine.org. There you can find all of the links to the app, to purchase the physical copy of the book, to download the PDF copy of the issue you want to study. And today, if you have the app or if you have the computer in front of you, you can visit spiritistmagazine.org and look for issue 57. We'll be talking about love today with the spirit Anna through the mediumship of Euripedes Barsanulfo. So I'm going to share my screen so we can be on the same page. And we do it this way so that you can know it's very easy for us to use the content. There's nothing fancy, there's no preparation. You can use the Spiritist magazine either as a PDF version or as the physical copy of the magazine. And here I have a physical copy of the magazine, one of them. This is happens to be issue 54. Excellent cost, excellent quality, is just at cost. All of our endeavor is free of charge, but there are costs associated with printing the physical copy of the magazine, and the partner Mag Cloud is the one who handles that print if you'd like to have a copy. But these days we're moving to the era of everything made digital, so you can download the PDF versions and read it on your favorite reader, something like Kindle, for example, Apple Books if you have an Apple device. And this is the article we're going to be talking about today, which is titled Love, Love by the Spirit Anna. And this is how the Spiritist magazine looks like on my computer. And it looks this way on my computer because this is my PDF reader. And this is what I would see. I'll be able to choose between many different articles, beautiful cover. And I can scroll up and down until I find the article that would be of help to me and my family that week. There's a series, for example, of articles by America Canhoto. There is here an article by Carlos Torres Pastorino. We have the one that we're going to be talking about today. We have Peace and Light from the book God Awaits by May May, and so many others. Leon Denis article and everything. So many resources. So blessed we are to be here today. Let's talk about love. This program is going to be first aired in the beginning of December, and it's as a convention we celebrate the birth of Jesus at the end of December, right? And then the New Year's. This is the season where we feel and celebrate the love and the incarnation of our Christ Jesus on the earth to show us the path towards God, how to be a human on the earth. And his sense, when you get to read the not only the New Testament, but also the books such as Jesus in the Home, Good News, you'll find that this idea of how he loved his disciples, how much he loves us, as we see in the book On the Way to the Life, he has received many billions of spirits throughout the centuries. He's been with us since the formation of the earth, which is 4.5 billion years ago. So much love that only Christ's spirit can give to us. And we have a little hint of how love is through these teachings today. So I'm going to scroll down and zoom in, hide the sidebar so that we can read it, and it will become more clear to us what we're going to be doing today. Oops. So here we have, Anna says, love is the bright synthesis of the element that reigns in the universe. To love is to adore God above all things, dear brothers and sisters. When the sublime feeling is germinated, sprouted in the human bosom, it seeks its wonderful effluence, mesmerize all the beings of creation, to love everything that comes from the wise hands of the Lord, thus adoring him. Let us then love your neighbor, whoever they are. In doing so, you observe the dearest prescription from our Father of infinite solicitude and charity. Love, love. That is what I will say to you at the end. May Jesus allow that from his sacred and purest heart, a spark of divine love may come out to scorch our bosom. So this message is very short. It's from the book Euripedes, O Médium de Jesus, by Editora Esperança e Caridade. The book is a compilation of messages received by the medium Euripedes Barsanulfo between 1906 and 1909 in Sacramento, Minas Gerais, Brazil. This particular message was given by Anna, wife of the Patriarch Joachim, mother of Mother Mary. So it's above Mother Mary. And the message is from 1906, over a century ago. And the message is as timeless and useful to you and I today than it was then. So you excuse me a little bit. I'm gonna go get the Spirit's book to make a little correlation between the messages, and I'll be right back. So here we are, talking about love. And guess what else we know about love? The Spirit's book, this is what this is the one that I'm using. There are 4 parts to the Spirit's book. The third part of the Spirit's book are the divine laws. And the divine laws are didactically presented to us by Kardec in 10. Excuse me, because the natural law is 1 chapter. So the law of justice, love, and charity would be chapter 11. But there are 10 laws, right? So in this, the law is of justice, love, and charity. And we talked about knowing where things are coming from, because when we learn from the Spirit's book, chapter part 3, the divine laws are inscribed in our conscience, that means that the law of justice, love, and charity is on our conscience as well. So everything that we do that aligns with the divine laws allow us to progress and remain in the good. When our actions misalign with the divine laws, and that's why it's a self-regulating mechanism, because if we deviate from the law of justice, love, and charity, then now we're committing evil, which is ignorance. We're delaying our progress towards superior spirit. And then this loving spirit, as you saw here, mother of Mother Mary, who gave birth to the most perfect soul that has incarnated on the earth, is giving us this definition of love. In chapter 49 of the book After Death by Leon Denis, he also talks about love kindling all things, giving life to all things, nourishing and being the glue, paraphrasing Leon Denis, the glue that keeps everything in the universe together. And how does Anna, on this very short and simple message, but full of love, full of intention for you and I, brings to us? She starts by asking God to give us peace and love. God is at the center of love. Love is God is the radiating center of love throughout the universe to nourishes everything, according to Leon Denis, chapter 49 of the book After Death. But we need to continuously ask God to nourish us with this love, because sometimes we forget that we are loved. We focus so much on the physical life, the physical existence on the planet, that we forget that God already loves us. God loved us even before He created us as spirits, right? Because God also loves the spiritual principle of all the other kingdoms of natures where we spend time in our internships. So she's telling us, Anna is telling us, love is the bright synthesis of the element that reigns in the universe. So it's not power, it's not money, it's not vanity, it's not beauty, it's love. Love reigns. The good reigns in the universe. We on the earth, in a world of trials and expiation, undergoing planetary transition, we focus on the negative. We still have evil or ignorance inside ourselves that leads us to do the things that we see, such as war, poverty, famine, disease, homelessness, so on and so forth. But love is still nourishing us. Love is greater in the universe. So many thousands and millions and billions of spirits are by ourselves, 8 billion incarnates. So there are 8 billion spirit mentors, which are more evolved than us, helping us, plus the many countless spiritist, countless spiritual missions who are all over the earth helping those who suffer and afflicted. Our friends in the solar system do not have evolved, have moved on. They don't have the coarse bodies in the physical life that we have. So love is reigning. There's more love. There's more good than we can perceive because we're so immersed in matter. So what is to love? When I was growing up, now I'm dating myself, there was a little um, cards that we bought. There were actually letters, paper, cardstock for letters that they had. We had this, instead of trading baseball, we the girls did the letter writing paper, and we savored it. We didn't use it to send letters to anybody, even though back then we did send letters, not emails or texts. And then there was one, there was a series to love is, and there was a little drawing that came with it that showed the many facets of love. So that's, we should put one of these in there. To love is to adore God above all things. So God comes first. God comes before everything. So I'm serving God, not mammon. God comes before anything that I do in this life, because God granted us, and I'm using me because I don't want to sound accusatory, but it's us. God granted us the opportunity to be reincarnated, even if the conditions are painful, because pain in this world is inevitable, but suffering is optional. So how we see the pain, how we experience the pain can be to our advantage in terms of growth. It says, when is this sublime feeling, love is germinated, sprouted in the human heart, it seeks its wonderful affluence, mesmerize all beings of creation. So this is a metaphor, right? When love is germinated, who germinates? Plants germinate. And they germinate, so they go deep down in the soil. They have to experience the darkness and the loneliness, and they have moisture and nutrients, and then the few roots start to grow, and then one shoot comes out with one leaf, and then there's chlorophyll in that leaf, and that leaf will seek the light of the sun, and eventually that can potentially be a plant that provides many fruits, shelter, shade for all of us. So it needs to sprout, it needs to be germinated. It's already germinated. You have the gene of divinity inside of you. God's essence is inside of you. Chapter 30 of the book Living Spring by Emmanuel. So let's allow this feeling of love for all creatures, because first comes God, then comes everything else. And everything else includes the creatures that live around us, but also the human beings that live around us. Because if they are allowed by God to be in our midst, it means that we need to learn something. Because no person on the earth, even those who are committing the most heinous crimes, are not loved by God. We are all loved by God in our essence as potential pure spirits that we will be one day. And it mesmerizes when we see loving people such as Chico Xavier and Divaldo, Mother Teresa. Then we feel that love emanating and we want to be around them. To love everything that comes from the wise hands of the Lord, thus adoring Him. So when we love our fellow beings, our fellow creatures, the plants, the animals, the earth, we are adoring God because that's God's creation. When we send love to those who suffer in all kinds of circumstances in life, we are saying, God, thank you for bringing this spirits to reincarnate in my midst, for all of humanity who is on the earth in both realms. You created all of us, so we adore you for that. Because she says, let us then love your neighbor, whoever they are. Doesn't matter if they look like us, they speak like us, if they vote the same way as is, if their house is different or the same as us, if they drive or whatever. Because those are things of this life. Those are things of humans, not of superior spirits. Our mentors love us. Either if you have drive a red car or a white car, for them it doesn't matter. We're blessed to have a car and not have to use a camel or walk miles and miles and miles as Paul did, that grants us the opportunity to be Christians today, right? So we adore God and its creation that includes our neighbors. And that's, if we do that, then we will observe the dearest prescription of our Father of solicitude and charity. So that's what God wants of us, love, because that's what sustains the universe. And then she asks, she started with an ask. She described what love is to us. She told us to love our neighbor. And then now she makes another request. May Jesus allow that from his sacred and purest heart. Let's stop. Have you ever felt, depending on which tradition you come from, like I come from the Catholic tradition, for example, we value a lot suffering and pain, and then we see Jesus as the guy on the cross. But before he was the crucified and murdered by the powers to be, he was the person who was there with apostles each and every day. And his sacred and purest heart, because it's connected to God, is emanating this love. So let's pray that from his sacred and purest heart, this spark of divine love, like a flame. Remember when spirits tell us that we are flames? The spirit's like a spark of divine love may come out to scorch our bosom. So it sparks from us and gets rid of all of our evils, our lowest natures. Of course, this is not spark of love God could come and remove all the evil from all of us, but where is the merit, right? So we want his Jesus sacred and purest hearts to have this spark of divine to reach us, so that each and every day we feel nourished, we feel comforted, we feel supported, so that we can keep going. We keep going, then soon, one day, hopefully sooner rather than later, we will be in an internship as a superior spirit, which is way ahead of us. But we will be there. We can choose the speed. We can go faster or slower. We can go through love or through pain, as they say. So let's hope that this spark of divine love can come from the Master to our hearts today and always. And of course, dear friends, I thank you for being here today, for taking the time to watch these videos, to share, to care, to follow, to like, to subscribe, whatever the method of consuming these teachings are, because we wanted to reach more people. We want Spiritism to be the seed that germinates, so people understand that we understand we are not the physical body, that we are immortal souls, that we're going to come back many times, that we give in chances, the reincarnation, the justice of it all, because there's so many suffering hearts out there that could benefit from knowing this. And we thank dear Anna, mother of Mother Mary, who was able to receive a Christ spirit like the Christ spirit like Jesus in her womb, so he could reincarnate in our midst to teach us what it is to be a true human. So between now and then, we thank her, Anna, Mother Mary, Jesus, and of course, we thank Euripedes Barsanulfo from being the medium who brought us this message. We thank all of the translators, those who revised the magazine, the editor-in-chief, the mentors of the Spiritist magazine that we know are here caring for us each and every day. We thank our mentors and guides for granting us this sacred opportunity of being together every week. So, God willing, I'll be back with you next week with another instance of the Spiritist Magazine program. Until then, stay well, stay safe, and don't forget to love one another. Bye bye.